we got 2 new Buster Blader cards, and that's enough to allow the deck to be a little bit different. Buster Dragon is basically DNA surgery on legs, also allows you to revive a Buster Blader if you don't control one, and has a third effect which doesn't really come up and can sometimes maybe save you from a Harpy Slash effect or something. Destruction Sword Memories allows you to special summon a Buster Blader from the deck, and also fuse one materials from the graveyard into a Buster Blader fusion monster. Last card that people might not recognize in this build is Synchro Call. It allows you to revive a monster from the graveyard and then synchro into either a Dark Dragon or a Dark Fiend with the revived monster and anything else you control. Occasionally, Synchro Call can also allow you to dodge effects that try to remove your Buster Blader from the field, or also negate your Sage or Whelp onto the field if you had the trap set beforehand. I played this before the anniversary, so Monster Reborn wasn't out yet. I think the card has some nice synergy with all the discarding that the deck has going on, but at the same time, I'm not sure if you want to sacrifice your opening combo to Monster Reborn if you're trying to run this specific build. The build is obviously very expensive because you run 3 of the new trap card, and while you could try to replace it with something like DNA Surgery or more tech cards, I don't know if it's really worth it to focus on this specific Synchro Lock Turbo build if you don't have 3 copies of the trap card, as it's integral to be able to set up the combo properly. It might be worth to go with a more old school build. I know people have tried a bunch of things such as Lightsworn Mill setup for the trap card, as well as Monster Morph Evolution, and the most common one, Draw Sense low level. The main goal of the deck is establishing the Buster Lock as quick as you can. Ideally you start with Synchro Call, Whelp, and 1 Destruction Sword card, but alternatively both trap cards plus Sage could work as well. After the Synchro Summon is finished off of Synchro Call, materials hit the grave, so you can now use the trap card to synchro into the Destruction Swordsman, and you effectively have the lock on the field. Of course, you do need a Whelp in the graveyard because the Buster Blader fusion requires the dragon, and Sage will not do in this case. While I did open the combo quite often, there's also a lot of games that you just don't open Exodia, so you have to stall out for at least a turn or 2 until you actually set up your Buster Lock, or at least a Buster Blader fusion onto the field if you're playing against a dragon deck. On the bright side, just being able to get Buster Blader onto a field can save you in ranked fairly often, and occasionally the fusion itself coming onto the field can be an extra layer of defense, since 2800 attack is pretty large and a lot of the cards that are bigger than it tend to actually be dragons. There's not really a lot of advanced plays in this deck, I don't think. The main thing is that you have to take note of your graveyard resources and be aware that the trap card in the graveyard is how you set up the fusion, so the discard costs for the quick play spells often actually allow you to establish your board and aren't really a detriment as much as they are playmaking tools half the time. During my climb, I felt like Gaia was my best matchup because they just don't run as many trap cards as Blue Eyes usually do, and don't have as many chances as Blue Eyes to interrupt you. Obviously, Blue Eyes can be easy if you open Broken and they don't, but since they run a lot more trap cards, you are more likely to get interrupted or disrupted, as well as Spirit Dragon preventing you from using graveyard effects can be really detrimental, so the matchup isn't as easy as you would think originally. You also have a fairly easy time against decks that don't run too many back row cards as long as you are able to establish the combo, and most games end in scoops because people just struggle to deal with the Buster Lock unless they have specific outs. Thank you to Daniel in the Discord for the list. It was basically the same list with one minor change, where we added the Destruction Swordsman Buster Blader, which worked out really nice. You can both search him off the Whelp, summon him off the trap card, or discard him for the trap card, so he's actually valid, and the quick play fusion doesn't come up as often, so him not being a Buster Blader in the hand isn't as bad. Thanks for watching. Hopefully the next video isn't going to be over a week after hitting COG, but it really takes quite a lot of time for me to get myself into the mood to make one of these, so hopefully I can fix this. Also, if you somehow found this video and you're not a follower on Twitch, go find me on Twitch. I stream a lot of Duel Links and sometimes also not Duel Links, but I stream way too much Duel Links. Later. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this isn't my first and last video. I'm gonna go to shit.